Good afternoon, Mr. Ambrose.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ruiz.
Good afternoon, Miss Mireille.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, we are very happy to welcome you to our Radio Urumuri. And of course, as usual, you will introduce yourself to our followers who are listening to us at this moment. And after that, I would ask you to take your time to tell us about the organization you come from, the actions it has carried out so far, as well as the actions that you are planning in the near future. Please, Mr. We are listening to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Alois. Meet Ambrose Nzeyimana. I'm talking to your audience from London. I'm a British citizen from Rwandan origin, and we are here to present you the global protest that we are planning in the coming days.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. So my name is Mireille Lewe, and I am a Rwandan Canadian. I am Rwandan by birth, but I also have the Canadian citizenship. And I am also coming here, just like Ambrose, from coordination of Idamange. And we've been protesting. This time that we're talking about, it will be the third time since February that we're doing it. And people are asking themselves, why? Why do you keep protesting? And this is one of the reasons why we want to ask Rwandans and many friends of Rwanda to come and help us protest. So that is the reason why I thank you so much, Urumuri, for welcoming us to have this discussion. Why are we protesting? Who are we? What do we want to achieve? So thank you.
As our host, Mr. Alois, asked us, we are from the organization, the Coordination International, Idamange. We've been around since February. In fact, after Idamange, Diamagwiza, Yvonne came out with her 4 videos, and on the 15th of February, she asks us Rwandans to come out and protest against all the injustices being perpetuated in our country. And the reason why we are protesting, and particularly against CHOGM 21, by the way, CHOGM 21 stands for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. It will be held in Kigali. And the reason why we are protesting against that event is because it ignores the fact that Rwanda is a dictatorship, and it should be accountable instead of being a host of such an important event. The other reason we are protesting against that conference is the fact that it's downplaying the Commonwealth principles and values. Among those values, you have democracy, the rule of law, good governance, tolerance, and many more. All values that the government of Rwanda doesn't really take care about. And the third reason why we are protesting against that conference is because if it's held in Kigali, it will help the Rwandan government to become even harsh against Rwandans and continue looting the wealth of the country. Mireille, if you could carry on and explain why worldwide people should join us in that protest.
Thank you, Ambrose. When I look at the Rwandan government, I look at it that it doesn't care about building the well-being of Rwandans. Instead, what they're doing right now, they're building a mega summit conference so that they can meet for the CHOGM 21. So that's what they're focusing on. All the guests, where are they going to be? The hotels. And there are also other expensive accommodations. And when we think about it, that's only for 1 week. So for preparing this CHOGM 21, they have spent a lot of money, right? And they're going into this, but they're really failing to fund some programs that would help education, the teachers. There's so many things that our country can do instead of focusing on this event that would only be for 1 week. Another reason why I see it is the restriction that it has put on farmers from producing so many survival groups, which have resulted in so many deaths because of the famine that's happening in our country. That's not how they're looking at it. I look at all the high school graduates and university graduates that are in unemployment. That is all not talked about. So another reason I see when I look at this CHOGM 21, it's very irresponsible for our government to spend tons of billions when they're cleaning the capital city of Rwanda, they're painting houses, they're removing businesses from the city, so that, to me, it looks like a show-off. You're not helping your own citizen, yet you want to clean up so that the people who will come to the meeting can think that Rwanda is an organized country. It's clean, but really you're not looking at your own citizens. If you don't mind, I can also talk about 2 other reasons, and then I'll let you continue. I'm looking at how this operandi of the CHOGM 21, how our Rwandan regime does not really know that, since I feel like the CHOGM 21, the people, they don't understand how the RPF rebel movement has conquered, how they conquered the Rwanda in 1994, for them to be the ruling party. So really they have been looting our country's wealth, which is not only that, they take the foreign aid, they go to Congo. There's so many things that they have done. And looking at the countries that are in the Commonwealth, I ask myself, and we can also ask ourselves, if they know all of these things that happened, why are they allowing this meeting to be held in Rwanda? So I can talk about other different reasons, but for now, the last one that I'm going to add is about the famous Hotel Rwanda. That famous Hotel Rwanda, that's being talked, that was talked about around the world, we know that there was Paul Rusesabagina. He was kidnapped and he's in Rwanda. Like, there's so many things that I understand that there are other things that they can't see. But what about that one thing that we can show that this is what our government, the Rwandan government, has done, and yet they're closing their eyes to still carry on with this meeting? So those are one of the things that we wanted to show the world, and say no to CHOGM 21 this year. Ambrose, I'm sorry I took long, but please, you can carry on with yes.
Yeah, I can add more. Sometimes when you think about the attitude of the external partners of the country, it's as if they are doing what they are doing on purpose. It has been 27 years since 94, but still we know, they know that Rwanda has been abusing human rights in the country for that whole time. It's like they know what why they are supporting Kigali. It's as if we Rwandans don't understand their attitude. So despite that hypocrisy of Rwandan partners, because that's how I see it, they know that the Rwandan government is abusing its people, but still, for that long period, 27 years, they don't mind continuing supporting Rwanda. That's a hypocrite. Again, this country, the international and financial institutions are aware of all the human rights reports, the human rights organizations on Rwanda, how human rights are abused. In fact, we world citizens, it's like we are letting them to be accomplices of Kigali. We should stand up more than before. They have been supporting Kigali for so long. It's up to us, Rwandans and people who like Rwandan citizens, to come out and support our people to get rid of this regime. We can't continue counting on these Rwandan partners because they know what is happening, but still they are like blinded. They don't want to see what is in front of them, though they are aware of what is happening. Mireille, you can carry on with the following theme.
Thank you so much, Ambrose. When we talk about human rights activists, I would like to count myself as one, especially since the death of Kizito Mihigo. It's not something that I started long before, but in this year, when I look at this lady, this woman, how we met, you and I, the fact that we are in this Idamange coordination. She is a 42 years old woman. She has 4 children. She was put in jail. Why? Just because she denounced all the crimes that we've been talking since the beginning of these conversations. And we can talk so many people. I've already named Paul Rusesabagina. I think about the Mushahidi. There's Jean Damascene Tegeka. There's so many people that I can go one by one, and we ask ourselves, why are they in jail? Those are the reasons why we are again wanting to have these conversations, to be able to march and say, no, this cannot happen. Another thing that I would say, this CHOGM 21 should not discourage all of us to be fighting for change. Yes, we don't shy away to say that Idamange has called a revolution. I feel like she's the champion of the human rights in Rwanda for doing what she has done in this year. So the comedy show that Rwanda has been playing, to me, I feel like this should be the end. One other reasons, when I look at this Commonwealth, again, the summit, I wonder that the RPF, when I look at it, they don't want to hear any voices of denunciation for the wrongdoing of protesting from anyone who disagree in the country. So for us who are outside the country, we are the voice of the voiceless inside the country. Because anytime that someone would speak up, sometimes you don't even need to actually tell the RPF what they're doing. You can do it in a song. We have seen poets. We have seen people just on Facebook speaking their minds, saying what's going on in Rwanda, and the next day they disappear. So these are the times. These are the times for us who are not in Rwanda to raise our voices, to protest, to not just say Black Lives Matter, but also remember our Rwandan lives matter as much as everywhere else. Thank you, Ambrose. You can carry on.
Thank you again. You mentioned poets, people on Facebook. You remind me of Bahati Innocent. When they said that he disappeared on February the 7th, while he was visiting Nyanza district in the south, it's only then that I started following his poems. We have lost a genius in terms of poetry. Since the 7th of February, he has disappeared. And we know who has him, the Rwandan government. And the reason they have made him disappear, we don't know if he's still alive, is because he was highlighting the hunger that Rwandans are experiencing on a daily basis, the misery, all the injustices that people are going through their daily lives. You mentioned someone who was on Facebook. I think you meant Rutembesa, who was in Nairobi, and he got kidnapped last year, and we don't know where he disappeared. Mm-hmm. So that has been happening. Those are the people that we know, but those that we don't know, we don't know their number. So the reason we are really carrying on with these protests and requests during our protests, it's because it's a shame in our view. It's a shame that CHOGM could be held in Rwanda. We are really requesting from the Commonwealth to boycott this summit and make the Rwandan government shift its tyrannical attitudes towards democracy and change its way of doing things. We are against Rwandan citizens going missing or disappearing. We are calling for Rwandan citizens to vigorously combat the Rwandan government and defend themselves. Yeah. It's not the external partners who will come to Rwanda to defend you. We have seen for these 27 years that they are on the side of the government. So it's time that we Rwandans realize that our safety is in our hands. Yes. We can't count on anybody else. We have waited so long. It's time to really wake up. We urge all foreign states and international institutions that support Rwanda to distance themselves from that government and stop their cooperation and suspend their financial aid until the culture of democracy and justice for all is restored in Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can ask us who we want to come along to protest. Basically, it's everyone, every Rwandan who can, and particularly those outside the country, in different cities across the world, friends of Rwandans who are aware of the situation back home. We are inviting all the people who are concerned about the absence of peace, including women raped in the African Great Lakes region. We would like them to join this global protest. We are inviting every protester to wear a white T-shirt with the following message. Idamange on the 15th of February asked us to start a revolution. So we want the T-shirt to have this message, Revolution Idamange or Idamange Revolution. Because we are in the same line as Idamange, we are her followers. Mireille, you can carry on. How will things be carried on depending on countries?
Yeah. Thank you. Before I go to that, I would even ask Rwandans to ask your neighbors. This movement can also be for anyone in the world. It's not just Rwandans, because when you think about CHOGM, it also has other countries. So everyone, I would say everyone is really welcome. Everyone, inviting you guys as world citizens to come and join for us to protest. So if this touches your heart, do not feel like, oh, this is a Rwandan issue. This is a world issue. Let's go and protest. And not only that, there can be something we can do in each and every country. We can send out memorandum to the heads of the states who are in the Commonwealth, even governments. And what we'll be doing, it will be for us to ask for protection of the citizens of Rwanda. Not only that, the refugees or the permanent residents of Rwandan origin, where we also need protection as well, because we have seen that this regime, it has a squad that has been sent down to hunt all of the above people who live in different countries. We can say Australia, South Africa, Belgium, France, UK, USA, Canada, Norway, Uganda, Kenya, Zambia, Mozambique, so many countries that I've mentioned, and even the ones that I did not mention. There has been a person or people who have been persecuted simply because they are against the RPF government. All of this has to stop now. Thank you, Ambrose. You can carry on.
Yeah, about those protests that we are planning, there's something specific about the sites where people will gather for that protest. We are inviting people interested in joining us to get in touch with the coordinators in different countries for the Idamange movement. The coordinators will choose the sites according to their own convenience, given the situation we are in, particularly with the COVID-19 pandemic. Please follow the guidance we'll get from the coordinators in the countries where you are. Particularly in Commonwealth countries, protesting sites could be at the Prime Minister's office, the President's office, Foreign Affairs Minister's offices, Commonwealth Commission, World Bank, International Monetary Fund, African Development Bank, provincial governor offices, mayor, Rwandan embassies, and parliament building or offices. whereas in countries which are not part of the Commonwealth, protesters could go to the Prime Minister's office again, embassies where you have a strong presence of UK embassies, Canada, Australia, South Africa, India, Japan, Singapore, Nigeria, Kenyan, and European Union, and Rwandan embassies. These are for countries where you don't have, which are not part of the Commonwealth. Mireille, you can carry on with the last theme about the media and how the whole event will be broadcasted.
Thank you, Ambrose. So the physical protest itself, it will be held worldwide in whatever country you're in. However, we want to do it at the same time. It will be shown on YouTube live, run by Bombodi Bombodi. Mr. Rubens will help us with that. And it's going to be on May 14th, 2021. And it will be from the time will be from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Kigali and Brussels, Paris time. So that is the time that we will have the physical protest. When we look at the time, like where I am in the zone where, like in Canada, it will be in the morning. So 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. around there at Vancouver time, which will mean where I am in Edmonton, it will be 9 a.m. That's the time that we're going to start the protest. So we will do, we are going to report that live on the studio that I've told you about, which will be Bombodi Bombodi. So Bombodi Media, sorry, that's the show. Bombodi Media, and we will be showing it live. So please, if you're unable to attend the physical, do follow us so that we can show the reason again why we're doing this. Thank you, Ambrose. You can go on talking about how we can use our social medias to also protest.
Yeah, before I get to that, let's remind our listeners the dates again. The dates are on Friday, the 14th of May, and the time is from 3 o'clock up to 5 o'clock Paris time and Brussels time. And for the online protest on Saturday the 15th, it will be from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock Paris time and Brussels times. About the use of social media. You understand social media is a tool for instant communication, and we know how helpful it is. So we encourage everyone to tell your friends in Rwanda and elsewhere so that they can get informed about this protest. Please tweet during and after CHOGM 21, everything you will read and hear about this protest. We could thank our host, Mr. Alois, and the audience which listened to us, and we thank you that you got information, enough information about this global event that we're planning in 2 weeks' time. And thank you again for paying attention.
Yeah. Alois, thank you so much. Every single Rwandan, you can ask yourself, I am not a journalist like Alois, who has given us the opportunity today. I am just a single mother of 2 children in Edmonton. My friend Ambrose just told you that you can use anything you have. You have WhatsApp, you have Facebook, you have Twitter. anything you have in your hands, you can use it to protest. So we thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. But for those who cannot come here and do it, there are other ways to do it. Please help us make Rwanda great again. Thanks again, Alois.
We thank you also for bringing light to our listeners concerning the events that you are planning on the occasion of the CHOGM 21 summit. Thanks, Mireille, and see you next time.
Thank you, Alois.
Thanks, Ambroise, and see you next time.
Thank you.